The Royal Australian College of General Practitioners, the peak body that represents, trains and advocates for GPs across the country, seems to be intent on getting involved in divisive political and social issues, as well as identity politics. Back in 2023, under the leadership of then-President Dr. Nicole Higgins, the RACGP backed the Voice to Parliament. This was a somewhat divisive advisory body that would have given people of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander ancestry a constitutionally enshrined voice. However, when the proposal was put to a nationwide referendum, Australians resoundingly voted no. But despite this defeat, the RACGP continues to support the Voice. Just this year, in July, they reaffirmed their commitment to the Uluru Statement from the Heart, stating, "This NAIDOC week, a new position statement reiterates the College's support for the three pillars of voice, treaty and truth." They don't seem to want to listen to the majority of Australian voters. Here's current President, Dr. Michael Wright, with the Nacho Group. No, not the Tex-Mex cheese-covered tortilla chips, but rather the National Aboriginal Community Controlled Health Organisation. On their Facebook page earlier this year, they announced that the RACGP Nacho Agreement continues commitment to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander health, and included some Aboriginal flag-coloured hearts. And here's the President hugging one of the Nacho representatives. How sweet. Here's the President's X page. Here's a post he made in May. "Today we recognise the experiences of the stolen generations and the lasting impact these actions have had on the health and well-being of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. I encourage everyone to take time this week to reflect, listen and learn." Every single reply to his tweet involved a certain F word. At least he didn't censor them, I suppose. The President seems to be very politically active. Here he is with Labor MP Mark Butler stating, "Congrats to Mark Butler MP on his reappointment as Minister for Health and Ageing." When Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was re-elected this year, he tweeted, "Congrats to the Labor government for their win." Why did he have to use the word Labor? Perhaps I'm reading too much into this. Maybe we shouldn't hold this against him, as his organisation does rely on political funding. In February, the RACGP tweeted, "We welcome the Albanese government's $573 million for women's health." What about men's health? Do men not need health? To be fair, they did publish a piece in June on their website titled, "A Great Opportunity to Put Men's Health on the Radar," so they're not completely ignoring men. Here's their news arm, News GP, which published a piece earlier this week congratulating a female Muslim doctor. And earlier this month on their website, they released a statement on the conflict in Gaza, stating, "RACGP acknowledges the immense and heartbreaking human toll, and they denounced anti-Semitism, anti-Arab racism, anti-Palestinian racism, and Islamophobic hate." As an Australian GPs organisation, can't they just focus on doctors in Australia? They seem to be sticking their noses in everything. But finally, some news from just this week. RACGP celebrates addition to Aboriginal workforce. Why did they have to specify Aboriginal people? Aren't all doctors important, regardless of their cultural background? They wrote, "Victoria's RACGP Fellowship ceremony has brought with it a significant milestone, with 2 new fellows identifying as Aboriginal among the almost 150 new GPs. Okay, so that's like 1.33% of the new GPs that identify as Aboriginal, which is less than half of the general population that do. They also note that the ceremony was held on Wurundjeri country. Here's the 2 new Aboriginal GPs, Dr. Shani Wilkes and Dr. Nino Scuderi. Look, I'm pleased we've got more GPs, but does their ethnic background really matter? My GP is from Sri Lanka, and I quite like the guy. As long as they're all trained to the same meticulous standards, surely that's the only thing that matters. But no, at the Royal College, it seems identity is king.